Hi guys, I'm here, I'm back, and I cannot wait to tell you what on earth I've been doing this whole month. So, it has been very quiet on my channel for the past 2 months, let's be real. And I think a lot of people thought, well, this is the end, we're not going to see any of Let's Selectors again, there's no videos, there's no posts, no one's even checking up on each other on social media. I've been really quiet, to be fair, and I've been doing so many things, but I'm very happy today just to kind of share of what on earth I've been doing in this time. So one thing that I'm going to say right now is that I am not going to post too consistently, so don't think that this is, oh, I'm going to be going back to like the constant videos that you're going to get. But what you will guarantee is that you will always be on my mind, as corny as that sounds, and I will try to get things out there because I, for one, am really excited that football is just tiptoeing around the corner now. We're not far away from the 23-24 season from starting. That's even crazy for me to say. And a lot of teams, whether it's Premier League all the way down to League 2, are very excited to see how the season is going to go around. So what I'm actually going to do, and you would have seen it earlier today, but I've done a live stream announcing that I've returned momentarily, and you guys were able to ask me some questions, so it was nice seeing all of you there. But this is really like my time just to kind of maybe answer the burning factors of why has this channel been collecting dust. Literally just picking up my mic and my camera today, it was literally covered full of dust. So it has been a long time, but I will explain what's been going on. And one thing that I will start right off the bat is another thing, thinking, am I well, am I happy, and stuff like that. One thing that I will say, which you guys would be delighted for me to hear, is that I think right now this is the happiest I've been in 2 years, and that is no understatement there. It is legit the happiest I've been in 2 years, mentally and just with the actual structure that I've got in place. So what I've been doing, there's been 2 main things that I've been really working on. One of them's been myself, and the other has been my studies and work. So I'm going to go through the working on myself thing first, because this is the one I'm most excited to share to you guys, and I feel like it might inspire more people. So basically, you would know that we sometimes have a football match with my football mates. You would have seen me react to one of the games and me absolutely loving every minute of it. And last year when we played that game, we lost, and it was definitely something that played on my mind a little bit. But we started the training for it, I would like to say probably exactly a month and a half ago. And I decided, well, one bit of training I'm going to do is a park run, a 5k run. And I've been almost a bit renowned in around my local area about these park runs, because I've attended over 50 of them by this stage. And it has been over a year since I haven't done it, and reasons being is because of part-time work and stuff. But recently I got that moved, so I've been able to return back to those park runs. But when I went back to my park run, so not to brag or anything, but my best ever time in park run ever, which is 5,000 meters ran, is 22 minutes and 1 second. So I'd be averaging around under 4 and well, in fact way over 4.5 minutes, but around 4.5 minutes per kilometer, basically, which is incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And I've not done this in over 2 years. In fact, I think it's almost 2 years to the day since I did it in 2021. So I did the run about a month and a half ago, and it's fair to say that it was almost catastrophic the way that it went. So I stopped running for about 5-6 times throughout the whole thing, which I'd never really done before until that moment there. And my time clocked in at 36 minutes. That's right, a whole 14 minutes more just from that run compared to what I did in 2021. Now, it's probably not the best example of me comparing my best one, but if I was to do my actual last park run before I actually had a week off, or not even a week, what am I saying, a year off from doing it, that was 27 minutes. So that was a 9-minute, non-improvement, if there's such a thing of that. So honestly, it was so bad, and that really hurt me, and it made me realize about all the things that I've been voicing on my streams, especially when you guys were asking about, how am I feeling and stuff like that. Is for the fact that I knew that I was going down a bad path, and if I wasn't going to turn my life around, it really could have gone really more serious than what it could. So decided to step on the scales, which is something that I never like to say and never like to own to issues. We always try and taboo it, and we want to try and sweep it under the carpet and move on. But it was very concerning with the fact that I had gained over, in fact, nearly 4 stone since I started working in Ipswich, basically. So in a period of just over a year, I'd gained 4 stone. So that really upset me too. So I looked at this thinking, I'm going to now actually use this training to get back to where I was. And one thing I'll say, as of recording today, that I'm really pleased to share, is that I have already lost 2 stone in 6 weeks. Absolutely insane and unreal. I've done diets before, and they've typically worked for about 3 weeks and then kaput. But 6 weeks to now, I've lost 2 stone, and honestly, I am now starting to see shades of the old form that I had in 2021 slowly creep back. Because honestly, 2021 was probably the fittest I've ever felt and been ever in my lifetime. And already that I've got a really good step towards it, and the football match that I'm actually training for doesn't actually start, in the next 4 weeks. So I've got 4 more weeks to try and get myself back to the stage that I want to be. But I'm delighted to say that I'm feeling much more proud and more better within myself, not as self-conscious as I was now. I definitely feel like I'm at a point where I can definitely feel a little bit more pride in terms of my appearance and stuff like that. And it feels silly to even think of it, but you do have your insecurities, and that was something that had laid down for quite a while. For instance, with my camera angles, I wouldn't try and get my whole body in, really. It's really sad for me to admit that, but right now I can safely say it definitely feels to me a lot better, and I can even feel my face looking a little bit thinner as well, which actually looks amazing as well. I've missed really just feeling this great and actually feeling motivated to get to a better stage. And if any of you are asking, because I feel like a lot of people will want to know, how have I lost so much so quickly? And a lot of time you get little adverts online telling you to do this, you're doing this wrong, and stuff like that. Listen to me, basically, because I was definitely very pessimistic of trying all these sorts of things. But I can guarantee you, with a bit of self-discipline, you could really push yourself for a long way. And one thing that you really need more than anything is support from your family. I owe everything to my parents and my family right now. It feels for the very first time, actually, in a long time, that I actually feel more connected to my family than used to. A lot of the time I'll be recording upstairs, half the time they wouldn't know what I'm doing, half the time they wouldn't know if I'm in work or not. But now there's so much communication, and that comes to my healthy lifestyle. So one of the first things that I decided to cut from the food. So yeah, food is a big factor. I'm not denying that. If you just prioritize exercise and eat all you want, you'll lose a bit of weight, but then it wouldn't be anything compared to the level I've lost, and as quick as it was as well. So in terms of food, there's 3 things I cut. Only 3 things, but they are 3 pretty big things. Now, one of them definitely very popular around breakfast: bread. Cut bread entirely. That is exactly what I've done. Not even brown bread, not white bread, not whole grain, not gluten-free, none of those things. All the breads have been cut entirely. What I've had instead for breakfast has been a form of a protein smoothie. So that's contained protein powder, milk, peanut butter I like to throw in there as well, depending on the flavour of the protein powder. And ultimately it's down to you in terms of what sort of smoothie you'd like to create, and throw bananas in as well, and any sorts of fruit that you can as well that will complement with it as well. So that's been my breakfast. Now lunch. Lunch is typically one of the ones that I think a lot of people don't necessarily have a formed opinion on. And I think at the same time, some people think, oh, biggest meal's lunch, or, you know, biggest meal's breakfast and stuff like that. I've always been a believer that the biggest meal of the day for you guys is dinner. So for lunch, it is literally as small as you can get. So typically I would have sandwiches and all sorts of snacks and rubbish and stuff like that. But that's all gone. That's all been changed. What I have instead is low carb and fat ready meals, or soup. These two things, it's one or the other. I've had up to 2 types of soup, which means that I've not grown tired of one type of soup. I think it's very important, if you try and change your eating, you have to make sure you change it around a bit, because if you get bored of it, you ultimately lose the interest to carry on, and it makes you sadder in a way. You need to explore some flavors, explore some stuff. It's very, very important for me. The soups last ages because of the batches, so I could have soup for 5 out of the 7 days in a week, and that covers my lunch, and quick to prepare as well. I mean, making the soup, it takes a while, but when you store it and you have to make it, it's just as quick, I say, than preparing sandwiches and stuff like that. So it's thinking outside the box, but also, as I said, the low carb meals as well help as well. Now, I'll give you 2 recommendations from 2 different shops, just in case, you know, because I feel like everyone would live close to either an Asda or a Sainsbury's. So these have been the 2 shops that I've been using. In Asda, there's a brand called Calorie Counted. I've been having those ready meals. There's stuff like, let's think of examples. Beef lasagna, there is spaghetti bolognese. There's all sorts of stuff that they do there. And for Sainsbury's, you may have heard of it, it's called Count on Us. These 2 slogans and brands, one from Asda being Calorie Counted and Count on Us from Sainsbury's, they have been really, really good, to be fair, to really give me just about enough, whether it's lunch, and sometimes it's had to be dinner as well. So Count on Us for Marks and Spencer's, they could have chili con carne. I think that's what I had last night actually. So they have all sorts of these low carb and low calorie as well. I think the chicken con carne is actually no more than 350 calories, which is insane. So yes, typically at lunch it'd either be a soup or these ready meals and stuff like that. And for dinner is an interesting wild card, because that's really down to the flexibility of my family. If my family have got time to prep stuff, we have something nice. For instance, we've had a carbonara recently. We've had what else we had? We've had a lot of high protein stuff as well. Stuff with chicken in there. There's been all sorts of really high protein dinners that have been well prepared, and I've got to thank my family for it. There have been times where they've not been able to, where, oh, don't want to cook today, we're going to get a takeaway, for instance. And I can tell you right now, I've had no takeaways, but I'm going to put an asterisk by it, and I'll explain why in a minute. So in terms of that, anytime they have something unhealthy that I don't particularly want, especially looking at the stuff it contains, I go for one of the ready meals, and that covers my dinner, just like that. And I was expecting, oh, I'm gonna feel like really grumpy and stuff like that. You get those cravings that you've missed and you're so used to, and you're so used, you don't really feel as stuffed as you are anymore, but you're more enough satisfied that you've got the stuff there, and it actually feels a lot more better in a way, because actually a lot of the time, if you were to feel as stuffed as you are, you'd feel bogged down, your energy would be lower, and you typically would go to bed earlier as well. So I've done a lot of time, because of that, my body's actually eking out for more, but not in terms of food. I can then use that energy to then go in the form of exercise. So yeah, with the foods, as I said, my diet's pretty much been smoothie, breakfast, soup or ready meal for lunch, or for dinner, a high protein or a ready meal there, and no snacks. And that's been another thing that's been interesting for me to see if I can keep off, and yep, I have, and it's surprising in a way. So the reason why there was an asterisk next to the takeaways, so I think it actually may have been 2 nights ago when my family had a Domino's, but I was able to actually still enjoy the Domino's with them, but they have these really low calories, pizzas, which I think only went up to 600 calories, which actually, to be fair, looking at it, I'm thinking, if that's only 600, that is no more than what I typically would get in a ready meal, so I found still enjoying my moment there. It just meant I had like a baby-sized pizza in a way, and I thought, you know what, fair enough. And actually, I felt more hungry after that than I have done having the ready meals that arguably have less calories. These foods are evil because they taste so good, but they leave your body eking out for more. That's why you constantly just pile all these calories on, because you're really constantly feeding yourself and you do lose control of it. But I did manage to survive through it and to not get tempted to have any of the highly calorific stuff. So yeah, I don't know how long I talked about that, but that's pretty much been my main focus point for a lot of my break, really. Just improving my health, because it was really going downhill really, really quickly. And now to the point that I've already lost over half of the weight that I gained over the year. I'm really pleased with the progress made. It's not perfect yet. I'm still striving to be a little bit better, but the fact that I've made the progress that I made, and I can actually physically see that I'm looking much better, and the fact that so many other very small things as well are much better as well because of that, I'm really, really happy with that. So with exercise, I might as well explain about exercise as well. So typically most days I would run 2,000 meters, so 2k, and I'm lucky in a way because from where I live there's like a really good loop which I can do 1,000 meters from, so I can just repeat that as many times as I like to get each kilometer in a way. But I've also been going gym as well. So for gym, everyone's got their different goals for gym and stuff like that, and I get that. What I do is that I base it on a 60-40 split, with 60% of my time going to cardio because I'm losing weight at the moment, and then 40% developing on the strength with weights and stuff, because I feel like that I'm actually quite strong already, but I need to prioritize improving things and then also making sure I maintain what is already good in terms of what I build as well. I've also been playing a couple of football matches as well. Actually scored a really, really good goal actually on my left foot as well. So I've even been getting football involved in terms of my training and exercise as well. So I've had fun in terms of all of that. And I was expecting, when it's trying to be healthy and diets and stuff like that, I thought it was going to be really bloody miserable, to be honest. But it's actually had that opposite effect, because I've embraced change. I've embraced the new food. I've embraced, feeling closer to my family, and I've embraced myself after hearing a lot of people noticing that there's already a big difference. So honestly, it is very important to look after yourselves, and it really hit home actually that I just had not looked after myself this much until now. It is very, very important to do so. So yeah, that is pretty much the main part of me being away, just kind of focusing on improving myself really. And another thing has been my studies, and I'll quickly go through how they've been going. So I'm currently studying for an accounting board known as AAT, so you can Google it in case you're interested of what they are. But basically I've got to do 6 exams, and if I pass all of them, not only do I get a pay rise from work, I then move on to the final level of, it could be an ACA or an ACCA, which is basically 2 very advanced accounting qualifications. I can pick one or the other. So I need to get through not the basic, I'm not going to call it basic, gonna kind of call it like the medium level firm first, go through their exams, then I can jump on into the higher level one, and whilst I pass all of those, I will then officially be a chartered accountant, which is actually very scary. But in terms of the middle level accounting firm at the moment, I can really be positive to tell you that I've actually managed to pass 2 exams since having this time off. So I've actually taken 3, 2 have been passed. With the 3rd one, I actually took it today. So I'm not going to know how I've done in like over 6 to 8 weeks or so, But one thing that I will say, in terms of when I started to now, I've taken a total of 5 exams. 4 have been passed. 1 I will have to resit because I lost out by 1 stingy mark. It was my first ever exam as well. So I already know I've got to resit it. But 5 out of my 6 courses have now been taken as an exam. And 4 of them, well, I'm not going to say 4 of them, 3 of them are confirmed to be passed. If the one today's a pass, then 4 out of the 6 are passed. So the fact I've already gone halfway through from where I need to get to is already very exciting. I've got the final course that I'm learning in the next couple of weeks or so. Don't know when I'm going to take the exam of that, maybe around September time. But after that, if the one I took today is passed and then the one I take in September is passed as well, I only have to do this resit, and potentially I could get all my exams sorted before 2024, which is absolutely insane for me to do that. I think it's a really good achievement if I do do that. So that is really what's going on there. And obviously in work, I'm still maintaining business relationships. I've actually worked full-time in over a year now, so that is also something that I'm really proud of and very excited as well. We celebrated as a firm with my 1-year work anniversary as well. So overall, I'm feeling very happy at work. I'm feeling very happy in myself and where I'm at right now. So safe to say, I'm happy, and that's really all I think you guys would really want to hear. I feel so much better, and obviously there's been so many things I've missed, and one of the things that I will look back on in terms of the stream is all the things that you're asking me and catching up on and reacting to and stuff like that. Honestly, in terms of what I'm going to do with this channel, it's still, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest, but I still have ambitions. I still want to try and push it to 2,000 subscribers. We are 260 away, if I remember right, which, could easily be done in this season. It really could. So I'm really going to think very carefully of a way for me to still integrate stuff. It might mean that I stream a bit more than I make videos. Who knows? But either way, I definitely really want to go back and do more consistent stuff. But I've got to make sure that I don't sacrifice, my physical and mental health. And I've got to make sure that I don't sacrifice my studies as a result of that as well. So I definitely need to make a more measured approach on things. But having said that, I'm really, really excited to share this with you. I've got a week off holiday, so that's why I'm able to be able to spend this much time with you guys. So I'm really, really happy, basically. So hopefully that's answered all your guys' questions if I have not covered anything from the stream yesterday. If you guys enjoyed it, please give the video a like. It just tries to help the growth of this channel. Please hit that subscribe button if you've not done so. It really helps too. And please share the channel too. All these things really do help as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary for joining in this video. And as always, I will see you guys maybe very soon. Take care everyone, and I'll see you guys later.